What do you remember about being raised in East Palo Alto? What were the streets like? What was the city like?
It was always some stuff to get into. It was always a lot of fighting. Some of the Jehovah Witnesses, they was getting their butts kicked at school. It was getting teased, and I just was like, I'm not gonna be one of those. When we was going to these parties, man, we would go to some places that wasn't really cool. You got in trouble, you do that little bark. I think you said, let's get to the car.
I said, let's go, because we had machetes in the trunk. I was like,
Yeah,
go to the trunk. Like your parents were hard disciplinarians, but
they didn't believe in sparing the rod at all. And I used to get my butt toe up for real, man. Them
Mhm.
patent whoopings ain't no joke, man.
I'm taking you back to my home soils in East Palo Alto, California, which is in the Bay Area. I was raised in a congregation called Menlo Park, which no longer exists. But I want to have my homeboy back, who I interviewed previously in the interview that's titled I'm a Crazy Jehovah's Witness. I think that's the title of the video. I would encourage you to watch that after you watch this one, or watch that one first, then come back and watch this one. I'm going to interview my homeboy Thurmond Patton, who is a good friend of mine, and he shares many stories. We have many memories, many experiences of being raised in the Bay Area. And so I want to revisit and recount some of those stories with him. So this interview comes with a trigger warning because there is some violence, some abuse that's discussed. So if this affects you, please just watch with discretion. This is Seeds of Awakening. This is your home for XJW Tales. I'm the host of Amani channel. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, thumbs up the video, or share this content with someone who may find it valuable, or leave a comment. All right, so let's go take it back to the West Coast. So Seeds of Awakening welcomes my homeboy Thurmond Patton, the Terminator, hailing from East Palo Alto. Thurmond, I just saw you a little while ago, so it's good to see you again.
Yeah, likewise, man. It's always a privilege to see, my friends and family. So,
Yeah, so this is a part two for you. So you were here a little while ago, and the audience seemed to really resonate with your stories. We were sharing a lot of hood stories. I labeled you the Crazy Joe's Witness. So why don't you let's just start things off by just what do you mean by Crazy JW? Let's start there.
well, the crazy JW was brought up basically because I would fight a lot. So, they'd be like, and after I fight so much, you fight so much, they'd be like, man, leave him alone. He crazy. He one of them crazy Jehovah Witnesses. So after all that, it kind of like stuck with me, like basically like leave him alone. He's not one of those, Jehovah Witnesses that are like holier than thou and
Turn the other cheek.
yeah. I have a problem with turning the other cheek. So it was like one of those kind of deals. So it kind of stuck throughout my life. So
Gotcha.
they want
Now,
to
like,
call me that, they can
and
call me
and I'll encourage the audience to watch our first interview, which is a little while ago. I think it's called The Crazy JW or something like that, where Thurman kind of shares his story about why he was raised fighting, basically. So we're gonna get more into those stories now, but when I think about like the first memories I have of Thurman, it's always goes back to Hazelwood in the court. We're playing baseball in the court. What do you remember about that day?
Well, we was playing. Actually, you kind of made me remember because that bat, I don't even remember nothing. But I remember we always used to go over your house and we used to play a lot. So I was the bat catcher. I remember that, but I didn't know who was up to bat. And my cousin Ron threw you the ball, and you didn't hit the ball. You swung around and hit me straight in my eyeball, bro.
Yeah, I
Like,
think he hit you right in the temple. They seem like he hit you right.
yeah, yeah, it had me knocked out for days, man, because I had a big old knot on my head. I didn't go to school for about like 2 or 3 days because my eye was so swollen. And all I
Wow.
remember was them telling me, "Don't go to sleep, don't go to sleep." And like recently, you told me it was you. I was like, "That was you that hit me?" Because I didn't remember nothing after that, bro.
That was me. And I was talking to your sister Trina, and she told me that you had a concussion. I was like, man, I didn't even check on my boy. I just must have ran in the house scared after I hit you with the bat. So that's all I really remember is hitting you, and you go like, oh, you started crying right away. And
I
then I
was
like,
screaming, bro. Like that thing hurt it, man. I had the biggest knot on my eye, man. Shoot, that thing hurt it, bro. But we go further back than that because I remember us chasing chickens at your house, bro. And my dad and we was catching them chickens in your backyard. And I
Yes,
remember with
let's
me, you and Robin and Salim. So we go way back. I remember when your son, before your brother passed away.
yeah.
So we go way back.
Yeah, so why don't you tell us a little bit, explain that story. So I remember we had chickens and we invited the Pattons over to, I guess you guys were gonna slaughter a few of them and take them home to eat. And your dad had like that bat and he was like beating the chickens over the head. And I was like, because the way we slaughtered the chickens, we would string them up on the fence so they'd be upside down, then we just cut their necks and like the blood all drool out. And
Yeah.
your dad was like brutal the way he was killing those chickens, bro. Kind of traumatized me, I want to say.
Hey, I remember my thing was I remember us trying to catch them with a hanger. Like we had the
Right.
hanger and we was trying to catch them by the feet
Yep, I remember that.
and that didn't work. So Pops just went in there like caveman, hit that joker with that Batman,
It's so
and then it
brutal. It's
stunned him,
so
it knocked him out. And then Pops came with that machete and yeah. Yeah, hey, we had some good eating that night, bro. We plucked that sucker, man. We was grubbing up some chicken, man.
oh man, I'm sure you guys did.
Yeah, back in the days, man.
Yeah, so we're raising East Palo Alto. So let's set the comedian for the what do you remember about East Palo Alto back then? Or what do you remember about being raised in East Palo Alto? What were the streets like? What was the city like?
Well, in East Palo Alto, it was always kind of, I would say hoodish, because you had, first of all, it was nothing but blacks, Samoans and Tongans and Mexicans, from what I remember. So when we were growing up, when I started going to Ravenswood or Kavanaugh, it was I remember it was tension between the blacks and the Samoans.
Hmm.
So it was the blacks and Samoans that would always get into it. And it was always some stuff to get into. It was always a lot of fighting, a lot of hating. So and you always had to fight for everything you know what I'm saying you had growing up. So that kind of stuck with me like I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I can't deal with that because, like I said, some of the Jehovah Witnesses, they was getting their butts kicked at school. They was getting teased, and I just was like, I'm not gonna be one of those. So, like I said, I had to show y'all had to fight, like, especially when we was going to places like when we was partying and stuff. I was like, nah, we got to get organized. So when we start getting organized, y'all come over to my house. Y'all would take turns fighting in them gloves. Them was some good times too when we was in the gloves. I remember me and James got in the gloves.
James
And y'all
Flood,
was like,
yeah.
man, we tired of fighting. Why don't y'all fight? Because me and James was the ones that could fight. Man, I was like, all right, come on. So I hit James like, bow, bow. I hit him with a 1-2. And James gave me this crazy ass look. I said, uh-oh. And he came with the power, and up, thank God I jumped back. Because remember, he knocked over everything on that table, cleared everything off that table. I was like, man. So after that, I was like, nah, I'm done, man. Like,
Hmm.
but man, we had fun, like, cause when we was going to these parties, man, we would go to some places that wasn't really cool. And I knew that people like to jump you. So I was like, man, we got to get organized. I was like, ain't nobody going to the bathroom by themselves. You always had to be with another person.
Yep.
We had rules. If we made the call and you didn't come, you was getting disciplined when we come back home.
Hmm.
So we came up with our own rules of just handling business out in the street. If you got in trouble, you do that little bark. Once you do that, everybody mount up, follow where that bark went, and and we get down. So it was crazy to see how that happened because when you moving with about 30 or 40 Jehovah Witnesses and everybody moving, they like, who is these jokers? You know what I'm saying? So thank God we was organized to handle ourselves in situations when we would go out and party because it was always some grimy people, you know what I'm saying, waiting to just, you know what I'm saying, just feast on you. So as long as
Well,
we
yeah,
we were cool.
I remember there was a point where like me and Sling were like talking, we are like, man, we can't really roll, we gotta roll deeper. I was going
Yeah,
to Thurmond and get all the other homeboys like rolling the spots with us. And then we had that one party in San Mateo that we went to, and like Tim was kind of rapping, and then he was saying something about PA, PA,
yeah,
pushed him into the DJ booth that like messed with the
yeah.
music. Next thing you know, the people were swarming around us. It was crazy. Like we got out of there, but it was kind of hairy for us.
Yeah, I was pretty upset because when I seen that, I was like, I bet you ain't gonna do me like that. And they was like, what? Like, who is this? But we were really surrounded, but thank God we was organized to where we could back our way up out of there and get to where we had to go. Cause I was like, let's get to the car. And when they said that, when I think you said, let's get to the car.
I said, let's go, because we had machetes in the trunk. I was like, go to the
Yeah,
trunk, go to the trunk. They heard me say that, and they kind of backed off a little bit.
yeah,
They gave us a little leeway to get out of there, I guess. And they punched, I think they sucker punched my brother, and then, or Peter or somebody. They sucker punched somebody.
yeah.
You were like, come do that to me. I bet you won't do that to me.
I'm not like I said, I'm on the front lines, man. Like if anything go down, because my thing is I put I put y'all lives before mine. Like I'm on y'all with me, we all together, but I'm on the front line no matter what. And to this day, I'm still like that.
Hmm.
Like, man, don't mess with my peoples, man. You know what I'm saying? We the chosen ones. You feel me? So,
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your family because I know there were some discipline issues or some challenges you guys had. What do you remember about being disciplined by your parents? I know this kind of maybe a touchy subject a little bit for you, but would you want to speak on that at all?
man, shoot. Like I said, I'm growing up. I got two older sisters. So, you know what I'm saying? My big sister, my two bigger sisters were always, you know what I'm saying, pick on me, and they would they would do some stuff to me. So one time I called myself gonna go tell my mom that they was messing with me, and she said, "Don't come messing with me." You know what I'm saying? Go in there and go sit your butt down. So I knew then, like, okay, I can't tell my mom to help me because they're not gonna do nothing. So if anything, if I'm getting jumped, my two sisters would jump me all the time. So that kind of like set the tune, like, okay, I can't go run to my mom and dad for everything. I gotta, you know what I'm saying, handle my business. I gotta handle my business. So with that, that put me in situations where if my sisters got into some stuff with dudes, they'd be like, I'll go get my brother. So imagine I'm fighting people 4 years older than me.
Hmm.
I'm like 10 years old fighting people that's like 14, 15 years old. And it was just, you know what I'm saying? It was like that little boy crazy. So it was always that little boy is crazy. Don't mess with him. So that kind of trickled down to my brother too, because I kind of did the same thing.
Yeah, you're telling me a story about there's a Walkman or something, your dad's Walkman that got
Oh
broke or
yeah. Okay, so I had just got the brakes beat off of me because what happened was I had got the sugar and the salt mixed up. So, we go to Lucky's, we go buy them 5-pound bags of sugar and salt. So I couldn't read at the time that good. So I end up pouring the salt with the sugar. So the next morning we get up to go eat our kicks. The cereal is salty as hell. So my mom lit into my butt about that, bro. She lit into my butt about that. And I go to school, I can't sit down. So I had to stand up because my ass was sore, bro. So the teacher was like, "You need to sit down." I was like, "I'm not sitting down. I can't sit down." So I was like, "You just gonna have to call my mom." I didn't want to say I got my butt whooped, and you know what I'm saying, because you don't do that. So she gets on the phone to call my mom. My mom was like, "Yeah, he can't sit down. I'd gotten to his butt today." Because back in the day, they had the phone in the class. You didn't have
hmm
to go to the principal's office. They make a call right there. So when my mom told her that, she came back and was like, "Okay, you can stand up." So okay, that was that whooping. But then my sister had took my dad's Walkman and broke it. My dad said, "Don't nobody touch his Walkman." Who goes and touch it? My sister. So that's another whooping. He got us all lined up in the room. Me, Davina, Trina, and Dayron, we getting lit up, and I'm like, I can't take this no more. I just got my butt whooped yesterday. My butt tender. Like he's like, just tell me who did it, and I'll start whooping you. And I didn't even break the Walkman. My sister did. Come to find out years later, it was my sister. So I was like, I'll do anything long as he'll stop whooping me. So I was like, Dad, I broke your Walkman. he told everybody to get out and start beating me for another 10, 15 minutes, man. And then after that, I had to go eat. So while I'm at the table, I'm like, it's not coming on my nose. I couldn't even eat, bro. Like, man, I used to get my butt toe up for real, man. Them
Hmm.
patent whoopings ain't no joke, man.
You feel like your parents were hard disciplinarians, basically, where your parents like
Oh
kind
yeah,
of, yeah.
oh yeah. They didn't believe in sparing the rod at all. Like, if you did something and they felt like you need to get handled, it was definitely with the belt
Hmm.
because not only, I mean, that's just the way it was, but I was hard headed. Like,
Right.
so, I mean, I guess it was curious. I mean, you asked me a question. Did you think I was a bad growing up? In a way, yeah, I was a bad kid, but I wasn't as bad as other kids, I would say.
Right. You're just like average, basically. You're just like regular,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Yeah, I
so,
don't remember you literally being like bad necessarily. It was just like you were Thurm. So I don't really
yeah,
remember you being like a bad kid necessarily. You were a
yeah,
fighter. You definitely were a fighter, though.
yeah. So that was my whole outlook in life. I mean, I fought so much that I ended up getting kicked out of all the school districts in East Palo. I got kicked out of East Palo Alto School District,
Hmm.
and then I ended up moving into Redwood City with Sister Williams. Um, George,
And get,
Adonis,
yeah.
Charles.
Hmm.
Yeah, I had to go stay with them because I was they kicked me out and I could and there was no other schools to go. So I'm getting there, and it was cool because some of the kids that went to Willow Oaks was at that school, like Wayne Brown and a couple of other cats. But the fighting continued. So the fighting got so bad that they ended up kicking me out that district too. So I think it was like the eighth grade. It was like the eighth grade, and I only had like 21 more days left for school. They was like, nah, we just gonna skip him to the ninth grade because we don't want to deal with him for another year. So they just went on and just sent me to high school. So for the last 21 days of the eighth grade, I just stayed at home,
Hmm.
So yeah, it was bad because I was getting in so many fights, man. It was every day was a fight. I mean, we getting in. I mean, it was family fights. You know what I'm saying? Me, my brothers and sisters fighting one whole family. You know what I'm saying? My dad got to get out there and make sure, you know what I'm saying, he fighting with us and you know what I'm saying? It was just family fights. The family fights was the best because then you could show your dad what you all about. You know what I'm saying? Because Pops be like, you want some? Okay, you getting some. And you next for you talk. So it would all phase, like, you know what I'm saying? You catch your fade. So
Hmm.
people used to knock on my door. I want to fight your son. I'm gonna beat him up. My mom be like, wait till his dad get home. So my mom would get on the landline. He got another one. And
It was
then
like so. It was like a regular thing for you then. It was the
yeah, it was a regular thing. Like the fighting. Okay. Um, I bet you remember when my brother got bit in the face by our
Yeah, I
dog.
do. I do remember that. Yep.
All right, so my brother needed like 500 stitches in his face. So we had a vicious dog. If the dog was so vicious that we had to put barbed wire on the fence to keep it from jumping out. So after that, we didn't have a dog for a minute. And the fighting was so bad, we just begged our dad, like, can we please get a dog? Can we please have one? And he asked my brother, was it okay? He was like, yeah, cool. So I don't know if you remember, I was always walking with my dog. And me and my brother trained that dog so well that if we told it to attack you, it was gonna attack you.
Hmm.
So nobody ever messed with us when we was like walking our dog because we really trained our dog to like if it need to kill you, it's gonna kill you. So that's why most of the time when you see me when I was out and about, I always have my dog with me.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I love pets. I love dogs because they definitely are man's best friend. So
The loyalty and the protection.
yeah, that was and that worked out pretty cool because sometimes in it actually my dogs was trained so good that they would meet me at the bus stop when I got off on the bus. Like they
Hmm.
would be sitting there waiting for me. They knew what time I'd get off the bus, and they'll just sit there and wait. I actually caught my dogs going walking across the willow paths to come get me from school. I was like, Dumper Muggsy, and they look. I said, get home. They was hurry up and get home. So I love dogs. I love training dogs because they loyal, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I could train some dogs.
So what do you think the effect of, do you feel like you had childhood trauma there from all of the discipline from your parents by any chance, in any way?
Definitely some kind of PTSD, you know what I'm saying, as I learned like through all that there because there are things that trigger me to where I trip out and you'd be like, what the hell? But you know what I'm saying, it's because of past issues
Hmm.
that I didn't deal with. Now, you know what I'm saying, recently after going through, you know what I'm saying, these classes and just helping me understand what I went through, it was just a phase. I'm able to, kind of steer away from what triggers me in those ways. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Hmm.
don't realize it at the time. But yeah, there's some triggers there. That's why I just kind of like have to humble myself a little bit more because
Hmm.
I don't want to have to go flying off the handle.
Now, when I was home, you were telling me a story about your mom disciplining you, and you were like talking to your sister about, do you remember mom doing this? I think she was sad on you guys or something. Like,
Yeah, my mom would definitely
and
like
let's say this
if she
before,
was like if she'd be like doing my sister's hair and she'd be like, come here and would sit on us, be like, damn, she damn near suffocating us and shit. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, everybody think stuff be going on the outside, everything is smooth, but like in the house, you really going through some things, and it's kind of a fucked up situation. But I just what I'm saying, right now I'm above all that kind of. You kind of struck a nerve when you brought that up, bro. But
I just remember we were talking. I mean, you didn't have to talk about
yeah,
it if you didn't want to, but I remember we were
yeah,
talking about it when I was home in California. So,
yeah. But I mean yeah, there was some abuse, like my sister said, it was some abuse
hmm.
when we were growing up. So that's why we kind of minded what our mom and pops saying because you didn't want to feel that wrath, man.
Hmm. So let's share some more stories then. I remember there was one time we went to Great America and there was like almost a riot basically. Like it almost got like a serious situation, I want to say.
Yeah, that one I don't even understand. Well, I know how it happened. We was, what I'm saying, we all tipsy and stuff, and I'm walking through, and I accidentally step on the dude's shoe. So it's like, man, I apologize for stepping on your shoe. You know what I'm saying, to keep it going. And he just was like, you punk motherfucker, ooh, and getting in my face. I was like, what? So you know me, and liquor in me, and you talking crazy. It just all led to one thing. Now we didn't fight then and there, but I didn't know these dudes was scoping us out, waiting for us to come out at the end. So we walking out. I think it was me and Peter, and we walking out, and all I see is this minivan. The doors fly open, and these fools got guns, and I'm like, Peter, get behind me. And they was like, what's all that stuff you talking now? And I guess Peter hit the bark, and before I know it, it was like 100 people on that doggone car, like the whole hood. It was like people from East Palo Alto was like, "Oh, that's Thurm," and they helped us get up out of there because it was so many people chasing the van that they had to burn rubber. I guess they didn't have enough bullets, or they got scared themselves.
Hmm.
And the whole hood actually saved our lives that day because they knew what that call was too.
Yeah.
So I kind of like I thank Porky and them. I was like, man, thank y'all, man, for being out there because, shoot, man, it was about to be bad for me. It was like, man, we got you. Yeah, so we could have got killed because them dudes definitely did have some guns. So that's why I say, man, sometimes I gotta watch my mouth because I be flying off the handle with some stuff. So I gotta be cool.
Yeah, I remember there was always like if there were a party going on or there's always some drama or some like funk at a party. Like I remember Santria had a house party one time around the corner in Farrington. Do you remember that party that
Yeah,
Santria had at her house?
yeah. She had a birth. Somebody who I don't know what kind of party it was, but it was a party. And
Exactly.
they,
Yep.
they they invited the brothers from Frisco, and I believe it was I think it was Lance, JT, and Jermaine. I remember because Lance, we used to kick with Lance because that was Jasmine's brother.
Yeah.
So they came to the party and they started yelling that Frisco stuff. And boy, East Palo Alto got mad before we could even calm it down. Like that thing, that party got out of hand. I mean, I felt sorry for them brothers because it was, even though we was trying our best, it was nothing we could do to help them, bro. Because I just felt so sorry for them. Like, bro, I'm like throwing people off them. That man, I ain't never seen them brothers since then. You
I
know
remember,
what I'm saying?
I remember my brother was like, let's take a walk around the neighborhood because my brother was feeling the tensions rising. And by the time we bent the block and we're back at the house, like the party was already turned out, like they were getting stomped out by a fence. There was women screaming. It was
We
crazy. It
was
was a
trying to
crazy.
get them. The people that knew him was trying to get him up, but it was just too many people, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was nothing we could do. And I ain't, like I said, I hope them brothers is okay because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen them brothers since then. I don't even think they came back to East Palo Alto from that time.
Yeah, I think they went home in an ambulance. I want to say that night. It was kind of serious, whatever happened to them. So I hope they are okay,
Yeah, I
definitely.
hope they're all right. I ain't talked to them, but I would like to talk to them, see if they're okay, man.
Yeah, that was kind of everyday
Yeah,
thing in East Palo Alto.
man,
That
it
was the
was
crazy thing
it
about
was
being
some
right.
partying going on. We was everywhere.
Yeah, we had some good times, and definitely you had started drinking when we were younger. So I have some
Yeah, I was
videos.
drink. Man, I love drink. Hey, man, tell your auntie, man, I apologize for her getting a hold of my dog on Sprite bottle.
Oh, my grandmother.
Oh, your grandmother?
Yeah, at my going away party,
Yeah.
I think it was my grandmother who got it. It was like E&J and Sprite. Is that what it
Yeah,
was?
that's when the new clear E&J had came out, and I had poured in the Sprite bottle, and I
Yeah,
wanted to get cold. So I put it back in the cooler. And I guess your grandma thought that sucker was some Sprite, but it was no
yeah. I think.
Sprite.
Yep, yep, yep.
And she drank it, and oh my God, I thought she was gonna die because everybody was like, "Ooh, Thurman, you in trouble?" I was like, "What?" She got a hold of your liquor. I said, "Oh snap!"
And
But
then
I
you,
don't.
and then you
Nobody
went back.
said nothing to me about it.
Not nobody said anything to you, but then you went to the store and bought some more. I think.
Yeah, I went to the store and bought some more. I was like, I ain't worried about that. Anyway, I went to the store with my hot $3 and got some more.
High and buy liquors.
Yeah, high and buy. That was when high and buy was, man. Everybody could go up there and buy. Man, we was buying alcohol at like 15. High and buy wasn't tripping.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Yeah, so that was the store. Now they don't even have that no more.
Now it's like a cell phone store or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. But man, that was the days, man. So and then just a lot of partying, a lot of good times, bro. And we would go wherever we wanted to go, man. Not what I'm
Hmm.
saying, we wasn't really tripping off nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because we knew when we go to certain cities, like we was like, definitely don't be yelling East Palo Alto, just have a good time. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, because you go to different cities, people be having feelings when you be shouting out your city, man. And it's just like that. Just like how the Juneteenth happened when they remember we didn't have a Juneteenth
Years.
for like 20 years because of fools in San Jose was out here trying to gangbang and look what happened to them. So, you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? When you go into places, you gotta just party. You know what I'm saying? Blend in. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be all, I'm from here. Nah, keep it cool. You know what I'm saying?
So did anything change you to make it where you weren't so aggressive, like with people, or was it just maturity that changed you?
I think of maturity. For a while, you know what I'm saying? I dealt with it with alcohol, but over the years, I just felt like I just need to. I was just trapped in a vice, bro. Like the same thing just kept happening over and over and over again.
Hmm.
So I just was like, I got to put an end to this for something happened to me. And then how would I feel or how would my family feel if I'm not there? Like, you know what I'm saying? So after all those years, like I said, I stopped drinking in March 20th. I haven't had a drink since. I just said enough was enough, especially after I start, having nightmares and shit. You know what I'm saying? Being at my mom and dad's house.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm cool on that. Cause I used to wake up and be fighting the air and shit. And it was all because and what I went through. And ever
Hmm.
since, what I'm saying, like I said, I've been on my own hype, living my life how I want to live it. I ain't got to worry about being physically and mentally out of anything.
Hmm.
I'm more in tune to myself. I just like man, it's been a long time coming to like share this stuff because you know what I'm saying? People need to understand that, what I'm saying, when you in a relationship like that and it's a highly controlled religion, like you have to put on airs if you're, what I'm saying, to just to allow yourself to get along with people. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know for a fact that there are people in their 50s and 60s acting like we're Jehovah's Witnesses and we're the best Jehovah's Witnesses in the world. But you are not no 50 or 60-year-old version.
Right.
So there's people in there faking the funk. And I don't, what I'm saying, that's your life, but I just can't do it. I gotta live my life the way I see fit because after growing up and going through what I've been through in the streets and all that, I have the right to bear arms. So I definitely believe in that right. You know what I'm saying? And you mess around and find out if you want to, you know. But I would protect my family over everything. So thank God I'm in the right frame of mind and not tripping like how I used to trip off certain things, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm able to put things in perspective and know where I want to go instead of just, taking two steps forward, one step back. You know what I'm saying? On that
Yeah, I
road.
found some video when I was home in California of some home video of a movie that I made basically. And I think one of the scenes, like you were really drunk and I kind of put on some boxing gloves and I was kind of like,
Yeah. Man, I was so lit that night, bro. I was, man, what was I drinking? I know it had to be,
I don't
I
even
think
know
we was
what.
drinking that 151 Bacardi. That's what we used to drink. We used to drink that 151. That had me on my back. All I knew is I woke up with a massive hangover, bro.
Hmm.
That I stopped drinking that quick. But what I'm saying, that was the ultimate party drink for us growing up was that 151.
So what did it take for you to stop drinking finally? What kind of led you to, I mean, because you were drinking for like years. What kind of led to you
Yeah,
finally getting sober?
I just needed a change in my life. You know what I'm saying? I just felt my life slipping away. I felt like I was gonna be a D1 crash out. And I guess just maturity and all that. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, I gotta let something go and let the drinking go, bro. And I feel refreshed. I'm not waking up with hangovers, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
I feel better now. I do need to get my fat butt into shape, but at least, you know what I'm saying? I'm more healthier now than anything. And then, like I said, my relationship at home is way better than when it was when I was drinking. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like my son is able to talk to me more. He's, you know what I'm saying? He comes to me when I'm sober and able to talk to him. If I was drinking, he'd be like, nope, not doing that. So it's nice to know that after all that, the drinking and stuff, that he do love me and appreciate me. That goes a long way to show that I really ain't just just
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, it just helps around the house, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to get along with people a lot more. I'm not so quick to snap, you know what I'm saying? Or just doing, saying crazy, stupid stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that turned me into an alcoholic when I got disfellowship. I think I was the only one that got disfellowship with dope in the sock when I had to go have my judicial meeting.
Yeah, I think so.
I was like, man, I finally did it, man. I think I'm about to get disfellowship. I came to your house, like, man, but y'all was like, y'all had it? Like, yep. And I was like, because and when I started selling drugs, the person that showed me how to sell drugs was my sister. Not Trina, but my other sister. Because you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? She was in the streets with some other characters. So I would just be like, look. how do you do this? And she would tell me I go about my way. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So you learn a lot. You learn a lot from people in, you know what I'm saying, your family or just growing up. Plus, I have a lot of worldly friends, so it kind of helps out, you know what I'm saying, a little bit.
Yeah. What part of East Palo Alto are you from, Thurmond? Why don't you school the audience on
Midtown?
that?
Midtown, California, East Palo Alto, man. That's why, man, and I had to change up my whole giddy up because, you know, Midtown colors is black, red, and white. I got a gang of those colors. I was like, man, everything had to have the red in it, black. You know, Flutter is burgundy. You know, the G is green. DeVille is blue. You know what I'm saying? And blue and black got over the ramp brown, kind of gold. So everybody got their own little hood colors. You know what I'm saying? But I love me some red, black, and white, man. Can't go wrong with that.
Yes,
You know?
sir. What's the biggest lesson that you've learned in life?
Man, biggest lesson is stay motivated. Uh, keep your mind open to different things. Uh, it's okay to agree and disagree. It's okay to have your own opinions. Is you know about life in general. Life is not always one way. You know, of course, you have a worldly way and heavenly way, but while you're on this earth, you gotta learn how to blend the two. Cause you have to be. Let's say I'm gonna say it like this. So you got to be Bible smart and you got to be street smart. And if you put those two together, man, you got knowledge at your hands, man. And always read up on stuff, man. Always read up on stuff because you know what I'm saying. You gotta know what you're getting yourself into, and just gotta know yourself personally. You know what I'm saying. That's what I mean. I'm still learning still some stuff, so man, at least I know enough to know. You know what I'm
Do you,
saying?
do you feel like you're OG at this point, or do you feel like you're kind of like have uncle? What do you
Man,
feel like right now?
man, shoot, at 50 years old. Well, you can say I'm like, oh, I still feel young, man. My mind's telling me I'm my mind is telling me I'm still 30, but you know what I'm saying? My body is like, wait a minute, hold on,
Yep.
take a step back, you know. But yeah, these young knees still work, man.
Hands work too, I'm sure.
Oh man, they still work, man. They still work, but I had to retire them, man. You know, don't make me come out of retirement.
Well, I'm certainly not Thurman. I want to thank you. Have anything else you want to add or any of the stories you want to share?
Oh shoot. Oh yeah, I had to tell you this. So everybody wanted me to tell Ronnie about Ronnie because everybody know Ronnie. But I got to tell you this. Rest in peace, Ronnie Marshall.
We have 2 minutes left.
Rest in peace, Ronnie Marshall. We was Tyrell was throwing a party at his house, and Tyrell had bought this pool. I think it was like 20 feet wide all around. It was like 4 feet high. Tyrell invited everybody at the congregation to his party, so it took him 3 days to fill this pool up with water. So you know, Ronnie, he's big joker. You know, he pushing about 400. So all the kids is in the pool, food cooking over here and everything. Ronnie gets up on the steps and about to jump in the pool. Everybody was like, "No, Ronnie, no, 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 Ronnie." Ronnie jumps into the pool. When he does it, the whole pool go bloop, and then all the whole pool just bursts. Kids start flying everywhere. The water was it was so much water it knocked over the food that we was barbecuing and everything. I could just see
Wow.
Tyrell was going, my pool, picking up the water, my pool, my pool. Hey, Ronnie had wheels that day because Tyrell picked up the biggest knife to kill him and he locked himself in the bathroom. So,
That's
and that's
crazy.
facts. You could ask Lorraine, you could ask Marcus or Lily.
I asked Century about the
Yeah,
sushi.
yeah,
Yep.
that's them facts. I got more stories, but we'll just talk about that one on one.
All right, cool. Well, if we bring you back for another, we'll share some more stories. But I appreciate you, Thurman. Take care.
Hey man, take care. Love you, brother.